Alright, hey everybody, so today we're going to be talking about fractional or rational exponents. So these are kind of like two ways of saying the same thing. We're talking about bases that are being raised to exponents that are in fraction form. Alright? This word rational has this root word ratio, just as kind of like a small aside, which is a comparison of two quantities using division, another fancy way of saying it's a fraction. Okay? So here is the key to this lesson. Each piece of this fraction gives us a different piece of information. The numerator is the exponent, is a power, put that in your head, and the denominator is the index of a root. And I wrote it down over here, I'll move out of the way so you can see it, and pause it if you need to. This right here is the key to the lesson, okay? Numerator and denominator of those fractions are giving us different pieces of information. The order in which you perform those operations usually doesn't matter. Sometimes it can be useful to do one before the other, so leave it up to you to decide which is which. Typically I like to take the root first and then do the exponent afterwards because it results in taking roots of smaller numbers. But leave it up to you. Okay, so let's see how this works. So here we have this base of 8 that's being raised to the power of 2/3. So what does that mean? That means we're going to take the third root of 8 and then raise it to the power 2. Here's how that looks. This is how the third root of 8 looks, and we call this the cube root. And this number that is outside of the radical is called the index of the root. So this fraction is telling us that we have the index of the root being 3. And then we're going to take whatever we get, we're going to take that and raise it to the power 2. So the index tells us how many times a number was multiplied by itself to make this number, which is called the radicand. So this is telling us that a number was multiplied by itself 3 times to make an 8. And that number must be 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So the cube root, that's why the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. So we have 2 raised to the power of 2, which is equal to 4. Okay, let's practice a few more. So here we have 16 raised to the power of 4 over 2. This is, which we should see, is the same as 16 raised to the power of 2. Okay, so this means take the square root of 16 and then raise it to the power of 4. So the square root, index 2, looks like this, square root of 16, and then we're going to raise it to the power of 4. It is kind of convention in mathematics that when the index is not written, that we know that means that the index is 2. In other words, look for a number that was multiplied by itself 2 times to make 16. That number must be 4. So we'll have 4 to the power of 4. That happens to be 256. And then I'll leave it to you to verify that 16 raised to the power of 2 is also 256. Okay, now last one. So we have 25 raised to the power of 3 over 2, which means that the index of the root is 2, and then the power is 3. So this would be the square root of 25 raised to the power of 3, index 2, power 3. This is going to be 5 raised to the power of 3, which is 125. Okay. Let's see if one of these... Nope, okay. So that's going to be it for rational and fractional exponents at the introductory level. And then if you want a little background knowledge about basic properties of exponents, we have a video on that one too, so search it up. And then I'm thinking maybe we'll make another video like this one at a higher level, so watch for that in the future. All right.